Today's video is all about stickers, and we are going to make them using two different machines. We're going to use the Cricut blade cutting machine and an xTool laser. So we are going to make one sticker sheet, the same exact one, with both of these machines, walk through the entire process, compare the results, and then talk about it. I want to help you figure out which one of these sticker making machines might be right for you. Hey there, I'm Sarah. You're watching Creative Ramblings. So today we're talking all about stickers, and I want to tell you why I'm making this video before we dive into everything. So I love making stickers. It is not something I sell. I do it as a hobby. I put stickers on everything, and I love gifting them and handing them out to friends and family. My go-to machine for making stickers is typically a Cricut or a similar blade cutting machine like a Lie-Cut or a Lockleek or something along those lines. It is a process I am really familiar with, and so that's just what I stick with. But there are new machines on the market that can make stickers, and it's pretty easy to do as well. So one of those machines is this right here, the xTool M2. And I recently made an in-depth video on how to create stickers with this machine. I will link that down below if you want to go a little more in depth. And I thought it might be really helpful because if you are anything like me, you love your Cricut, you make a lot of stickers with it, and you're wondering if this machine is as easy, can do as good of a job, and is worth investing in. So that's what I want to do in this video today. We are going to take a sticker sheet that I created in Canva, and we are going to make it from start to finish using a Cricut and then using an xTool. We are going to compare the stickers at the end. We're going to talk about the processes. How did they compare? Was one easy? Was one difficult? And then we're going to talk about price point of everything you need to make Cricut stickers and everything you need to make xTool stickers. So I have found this process really helpful, and I hope you're going to find it helpful as well. So without further ado, let's get started. We are going to start with Cricut stickers. So here is what I am using today. I am using this machine right here. This is the Cricut Joy Xtra. It is my most budget-friendly Cricut that I own that has the ability to print then cut, which means it can make stickers. Almost every Cricut machine that you can buy right now can make stickers. Just take a look at it. The original Joy can't, but just about everything else can. So I wanted to opt for the most budget-friendly one that I have for the purposes of this video. Now, a Cricut is not a printer. There is no ink in this. When I say it is print then cut compatible, it has a little sensor in here that can detect the outline of a printed object and cut it nicely. So we have our Cricut, but we also need an inkjet printer, and these two are going to work together. So I'm going to use the Cricut Design Space software with the Cricut Joy Xtra, but then I've got this Canon inkjet printer here that I'm using as well. I have had this Canon forever. It is very reliable, it prints nicely, and it is also budget friendly. The other thing you're going to need is a cutting mat. These are about $11, or you can get it in a bundle when you get your Cricut. So we do need a cutting mat. I also really like a brayer for stickers. This is completely optional. The final thing we need is white sticker paper. And I am using sticker paper and not printable vinyl or anything else because this paper can be used in both a Cricut and a laser. And I really want these stickers to be exactly the same, so that's why we're using the same one. So I've got my machine, my printer, my mat, my paper, and I have already created a set of stickers using Canva. Both softwares for both of these machines allow you to do some designing within them. You can use the graphics, you can use their tools, but again, I want to produce the same sticker sheet with both. So I'm producing this in Canva, and we're going to upload it into the software for each one. So let's go over to Cricut Design Space and we will get this all set up. This is the home screen for Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to come up to New Project. Now Cricut makes it pretty easy. I could go to a blank canvas and make some stickers, but I am going to skip some of the work and come up here and go to Stickers and Labels. And like I said, I already designed a sticker sheet, so then we're going to come down to Custom Stickers. and pick our size here. And it's actually an A4 sheet of paper. That is just the type of sticker paper that I have. And now we can start designing. So here is where you could put all kinds of graphics within Cricut Design Space on your paper, but I am going to upload a design that I already created. And then from here we just follow the prompts so the image looks good. The background is already removed, so I don't need to do anything there. I want it to be a flat graphic because I am going to print this, not cut it out of vinyl or something like that. It already has a name, so I can finish uploading. And I created this on a letter size sheet of paper, so it should fit perfectly. You can see here on the mat that there are little cutouts for where I can't have any of my graphics. Now, if you'll notice, this uploaded the images, and then it also put a cutout all the way around them. So it immediately turned these into stickers for me. One thing that I can do is if I click on my graphic, I can come down to these three little dots and then choose Edit Sticker. So I have a couple of options here. I want these to be kiss cut, meaning they're going to peel off the page, but I could also make die cut, meaning I would have individual stickers. I do want a border, but I don't want it to be that thick. I want to make it a thinner border. So there's going to be a little bit of white space around each sticker, but not as much as before. A lot of other things you can do here, but this is really all I want to do right now. And we're ready to make it. So my Joy Xtra up on top is connected. We can go to Make. Over on the left, I'm going to confirm that this is print then cut. It is on letter sized or A4 sized sheet of paper, and it fits within my mat nicely. Let's continue. The first thing I need to do is print it. So I am going to send it to my printer. On this screen, I'm going to select my printer. I'm going to turn the bleed off, and I'm going to use the system dialog box and then print. Here in the system dialog box, I'm able to set my preferences. So I want to come in and put it on, make sure it's on color and it's on really good quality and that it's coming out of the rear tray. This is going to vary for every printer, but these are just the settings I'm using for mine. I also want matte photo paper. Everything looks good there. Now let's send it over to the printer. Here are the printed stickers. Now let's get that printer out of the way. We've got our cutting mat and we're going to take the printed stickers. There's a little arrow up in the corner here. That arrow goes in the top left. So we're just going to stick this on the mat. And this is where that brayer comes in, which again is completely optional. But I like to do this to stick these stickers down so that I'm not getting any oils from my finger on the sticker mat. Now we can open up our Cricut machine and go back to the software. All right, back in the software, I have told it that it is printed and everything looks great. So our next step is to pick a material. This is not a Cricut branded material, but it is printed sticker paper and it is white. So I'm going to pick that. And the default settings are for kiss cut. And this is exactly what I want. I want to be able to peel the sticker off the sheet. So now I can load it into the machine. There's no buttons on a Joy Xtra, so this is all done automatically or through the Go button in the software. The first thing that's going to happen is the sensor is going to sense those 4 black corners on the sheet, and that is going to tell the blade where to cut, and then it's going to cut exactly how we designed it in the software. So these stickers are done. So I'm going to pull this whole thing off the mat. And since they are kiss cut, I should be able to just easily pull this right off. And I have a beautifully cut, printed and cut sticker ready to use. So we just made stickers with Cricut. Now let's make those same stickers with this machine right here. This is the xTool M2. So this is a laser and a printer in one. If you have this machine, you've done this before. If you don't have this machine, when you go to purchase it, the basic model is a laser. It is either a 10 watt or a 20 watt laser. And I have the 10 watt laser. And that is this module that's in it right here. In order to do stickers, we need to be able to print with a printer module and then cut with a laser. So you're going to need to get the bundle that includes the print module. So that includes everything you see here, the laser with the machine, and then this module right here, which is the printer. You need to have this plus this to do what we're gonna do today. The only other thing you need is that white sticker paper, the same one that we used for the Cricut, and then the xTool Studio software, which comes with your machine. So I've got the 10 watt laser module in here. I'm going to turn this on, and we are going to go over to the software. So this is the xTool Studio software, and we are going to come up on the right and click New Project. And I need to switch it over to my M2. All right, so the M2 is connected, and there is a camera in this machine. So it's gonna take a picture and show me what is on the base plate, which right now is nothing. So over here on the right, we need to tell the machine what we're doing. So we are not just lasering, we are going to print and then cut. So that's what I need to select over here. Next thing I need to do is select a material. There are a ton of materials that you can choose from here. And I am going to choose sticker paper and then click apply. Now the next thing I want to do is come over on the left and bring in that sheet of stickers that I just used. So this right now is set up as just images that will print. I need to also tell the machine that I want to cut around this, just like we did with the Cricut. So having everything selected, I'm coming up to offset, and it is going to draw a border around each image here. And I can change the distance, I can play with a couple different settings, but I think this border is perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and confirm that. Now right now the border and the printed images are separate, and I want to combine them just so if I choose to move this around, they stay together. So I'm going to highlight everything and then group. So that way if I move them, they all stay together. So now is a good time to put that sticker paper in the machine. Same sticker paper we used before. I'm going to set it in the machine. On this base plate here, there's little white corners and little white circles. We need to make sure those aren't covered. So I'm just going to place this in the middle. And then I do have some small magnets that I like to put at least 2 on here. I don't want these to interfere with the print head or the laser, but I do want to make sure that my paper doesn't move. So I'm just going to put a few of those back on and then close it up again. Picture is automatically refreshed. Now I can take this and place it on the material. The other thing I need to do is I need to measure the thickness. So I am going to click on aimed measure here and come over and just select right in the middle of the paper. It's going to help tell the laser how thick this material is. And now we need to choose some settings. So up here I have the printed option and I have what I want to cut. So let's click on those cut settings first. And I have under processing module, I can pick my laser wattage. I have a 10 watt laser and then I want to set it to cut. Now there are no defined settings for cutting in here. I did a whole sticker video. I'm going to link that below if you want to take a look on how to make stickers with this machine. I did a lot of testing and I came up with some really good kiss cut settings. So we are going to do a power of 90 a speed of 54, and 1 pass. Then for the printer, I'm going to again go into that processing module, and I want to come down to printer. Inkjet printer module. The only settings I have for this are the concentration. And I have found I get really good color using about 80%. I would play around with this and see if you need to go more. You probably can't go less, but you could go more. But 80% typically gives me really good color. When you switch over to the printer module, you do get, let me shrink this a little bit so we can see it. It does show you a little cutout here because it cannot print in that area, and it also can't print way up on top here. So just make sure that your printed object and the paper is within those parameters. But everything here looks really good. Settings are all ready to go. We can hit process. Now, when I started that machine, I had the laser in first, and this is telling me, first it's going to tell me this is task 1 of 2. It's going to give me an estimated time, and it's telling me I need to put the printer in. This is a really easy thing to change. We unplug the side and pull out the module. It is just on magnets. The printer has a base on it. Leave that on, put the magnets in, and plug the module into the side. All right, the software has detected the print head. Looks like it's going to take us about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and start. Printing is done, so I can hit next. And now it's going to tell me to switch out for the laser. Super simple process. Again, stick it on with the magnets, put the cord back in. Now, because this is a laser and we will be burning that, there is a vent hose that goes out the back. So you need to have that either go out a window or to an air purifier. It's detected the laser. Let's hit start. All right, these stickers are done. Color looks great, and then we should be able to just peel this off. We've got another sticker. Let's take a look at both of these together. All right, here are our sticker sheets side by side. Let's take a look at these. This is Cricut on the left, and that is xTool on the right. So we use the same exact sticker paper and roughly the same process for both of them. Something I don't know that I pointed out originally, this is an inkjet printer that I use, that Canon, that separate printer. The module that is in the xTool is also an inkjet module. So it is the same ink. They both have CMYK ink in them. So just from looking at it here, I do think these are a little bit brighter. Now again, you can change the concentration on this. You can go up to 100. So that is an option, but I do think this is still really good color over here. We're just a little bit brighter on this one over here. You can tell, especially in these greens over here, how much more saturated we got. When we are using the xTool over here, we can actually use more of the paper. With the Cricut, we have to come inside these black lines. So we do have a smaller working area, but I was able to print the same exact thing on both of these. Let's take a look at these stickers themselves. So this is the Cricut sticker. It peeled off beautifully. There are no rugged edges whatsoever. Let me show you where it came from. Really easy to peel off. On the M2 here, I did have a little bit trouble peeling right here, so there is a bit of a tear on that stem. And it's kind of hard to see in person, but there is a tiny bit of a burnt edge. I don't know if it's going to show up on my finger, but there's just a little bit of burning because we cut this with a laser versus a blade. It shows up a little bit more on the sticker sheet. You can kind of see the dark edges around it if we put them side by side. So we've got a little bit of the dark edges from the xTool here, and then kind of the clean edges from the blade cut over here. We made stickers using a Cricut and an xTool. We took a look at how they look, but let's also talk about the process. So the process for Cricut involves two machines. A Cricut is not a printer, so you need to have a separate inkjet printer. You design in the software, you send it to the printer, then the machine, the Cricut machine, recognizes it and cuts it out. So there's a couple more steps. With the xTool, everything is built in. I put that sticker paper down and I didn't have to touch it until I was ready to pull my stickers off. Very nice and easy to use there. As far as the software is concerned, I do think Cricut Design Space is a little bit easier. They have really streamlined their software recently. It used to be a lot more steps to create stickers, and now that's gotten easier. That being said, I think xTool Studio is very easy to use as well. There's just a couple more steps because you can pick settings on this, and there's a little bit more tweaking you can do with an xTool, where with Cricut, you throw it on the canvas, you pick your material, and go for it. As far as time, I think the Cricut was a little bit faster, not by much. I think the printing was faster on the xTool, the designing process and the software a little bit faster on the Cricut. Both of them easy and fairly fast to make a sheet of stickers. Let's talk about materials. I used a white basic sticker paper for both of these. I chose to do that. You're not very limited by what you can cut with a Cricut. You are limited by what you can cut with a laser. Most vinyl, printable vinyl, holographic, glow in the dark, all that fun stuff, that sticker material typically contains PVC. You cannot cut PVC with a laser. You cannot burn it in any manner. It's going to give off toxic fumes, which are dangerous to you, to the environment, and to your machine. So PVC, not compatible with a laser. So that's why I went with paper, so we could do that with both. With a blade cutting machine like the Cricut, your material options are endless. There are so many options for sticker materials out there. You can create some really cool stuff. I think we are going to see some great materials for the xTool. There is PET vinyl and sticker paper that is safe to use with a laser. Make sure you do your research and really look at what is in the material that you're purchasing before you put it in your laser. You're looking for PET, not PVC. PET is safe. So a little limited on materials here, but I think we're going to get better. Let's talk about price. Very important here. So let's start with Cricut. I used the Joy Xtra because that is the most budget-friendly machine that I own that can make stickers. The Cricut Joy 2, which is another machine that can do stickers, a little bit smaller working area, but that machine starts at $99. This one, regularly priced, is $179. You are also going to need a cutting mat that runs about $11 or $12. So we're talking about $190 to get your machine and your cutting mat. You do need an inkjet printer. I have had this Canon inkjet for years. I recommend it to everyone. It works really, really well. It retails for about $140. Normally, no sales. And you can buy it on Amazon, you can buy it at Walmart, you can buy it at all kinds of different retailers. But a basic inkjet printer, roughly $140. This in the mat about $190. If you want to make stickers with a different Cricut machine, I mentioned that Joy 2 starts at $99, and then they go up to about $3.99, where you can use larger areas. But keep in mind, even though you have a larger Cricut machine with like a 12 by 12 mat, if your printer only prints on letter size sheet of paper, that's as big as a sticker sheet as you can make. Pricing on the M2. The basic bundle comes just with a laser, but you need that printer module to go with it. So you need the print and cut bundle. There's like 3 listed. The first one is basic. It's going to be the second one. It includes the housing of the machine, the laser, and the printer. I have the 10-watt laser, so that bundle regularly priced is $749. So the final thing I want to do here is share my thoughts and my takeaway from this little head-to-head competition here. Take it from somebody who has been crafting and making stickers for a very long time. If I needed to make a sheet of stickers right now to use for a scrapbook or card or decorator water bottle, whatever the case may be, I am going to pick the Cricut or a similar blade cutting machine. I think they both make great stickers. Part of the reason I would choose this one is because it's just what I've been doing for a very long time, and Cricut continually improves their software and their calibration of the machines and the accuracy of their print and cut system. So it works, and it's easy, and I know how to do it. That being said, I am always open to learning something new, and so I have learned the sticker making process here with the M2. It is easy. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. It produces a good product. I think the final product for the Cricut stickers is just a little bit better. I like that the settings are honed in a way that each and every sticker is going to peel off perfectly every time, and there is no burned edges. There's very, very little burned edges with the M2, but I'd rather avoid that altogether and just blade cut it. I also like that I have a lot more options with material here. So I can use print and cut, vinyl, holographic, glow-in-the-dark, glitter, whatever kind of material I want, and I'm blade cutting it so I know that it's safe. That being said, I really like using both of these machines together. There is space for both of these in my craft room. The M2 with its print module is phenomenal for working with wood. So I really like being able to design a project, print and cut wood. I also like using it for laser engraving, cork, leather, slate, and all kinds of other materials. I think I will stick with my Cricut and Cricut and other blade cutting machines when it comes to paper, vinyl, and stickers. But having both of these together really expands what I can do in my craft room. So I hope I gave you something to think about here and you were able to watch the process for both of these and maybe learn something you didn't know before. If you have any other questions on the sticker process for both of these, please let me know down in the comments. I also have full sticker tutorials specifically for the Joy Xtra and the M2. I'll link those down below if you'd like to learn more. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm here every week with new videos helping you move forward in your creative journey. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.